Welcome back, my fellow Chibits. Hopefully all of you are having a very, very wonderful day and continue to have many great days ahead. And so, as always, I've asked a bunch of you to, leave me some questions, let me know what you want me to answer. I'll compile them up, and then I would answer them in this video. And so, let us do just that, and let us begin answering some questions. What is your favorite RPG game of all time? The most fun I've ever had in an RPG? I would have to say Diablo 2. That was probably my favorite RPG I've ever played. If it's not Diablo, it would be World of Warcraft. It's one of those two that I've had the most fun on in terms of just RPG experiences. Do you remember this? Chibi questions imitating a Neko. Oh, fuck. Yep, I remember that. Not my proudest moment. Who would you rather be locked in a closet with? Yuno from Future Diary or a Medusa from Oh, that's easy. I'd rather be locked up with Medusa. You want to know why? Because I know for a fact, Yuno, she would kill my ass. Like, if I'm not Yuki, she would kill me. Like, I'm dead as hell. Like, as soon as I walk in that room, I'm dead as fuck. Like, I'm gone. Like, there's no chance of survival. At least with Medusa, I might. Like, it's slim, but I might survive. But fucking Yuno? No, I'm dead. So, yeah, I'd rather be locked in, a closet with Medusa. Make a berserk joke, like Donovan gave Guts some deep scars. 10-inch deep toe. Oh, that's heinous. Many love different assortments of, lovers and all that. But you know what Guts likes? He likes those that can't speak and act like a child. Favorite standalone anime movie? Spirited Away. Spirited Away is probably my favorite standalone anime movie. I loved Spirited Away. That was such a fantastic movie when I watched it as a kid, and I rewatched it a few years back, and I loved it even more than I did when I was a kid, just because of the message behind it, but also just the animation. It still holds up to this day, so I would say Spirited Away is something that is my favorite standalone anime movie. If it's not that, it's Howl's Moving Castle. Can you delete your Twitter account? Okay, so, you know what? I want to be a good man here. Majority of people that see this topic question, either A, they're going to ignore the question, and they're not going to even put it in a video. 2, they're going to give you an answer that's just joking, like, yeah, I'll delete it. Or 3, they're going to show, like, an image of them deleting their account, but they really don't delete it. They delete a fake account or something. So, you know what I want to do? I want to give you a legit answer. No, fuck you. Would you prefer a potato or a tomato? Oh, I'm a tomato man. Like, look, I like potatoes, don't get me wrong. I like some french fries and stuff, but I love tomatoes. Like, tomatoes are juicy. I can eat them like an apple. Like, seriously, have you never ate a tomato like an apple? Like, just wash it off and all that, grab a tomato, just bite into it like a fucking apple. It's delicious. Like, I'm serious. What games do you plan to stream over the course of this year? Well, I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. I've been streaming a lot more recently. I think a lot of Chibits now realize, because I've been uploading, a little bit of highlights to, the YouTube channel. But, I plan on finishing Nier Automata, the third playthrough, which, is a completely new story. It's like the actual main game, while the first 2 playthroughs were just the prologue. Now, I plan on, finishing Nier Automata on streaming. Then I want to go to Berserk, the Berserk PS4 game. And then, between the Berserk game and all that, I'm going to probably be playing the Dark Souls DLC. I'm trying to prep up for Dark Souls, because I'm actually in New Game Plus 7, but I need to kind of beat all the bosses before I can get ready for the DLC, but I want to do the Dark Souls DLC for stream, which won't take long at all, probably just a day or 2. Besides that, I also would love to stream Outlast 2, maybe Layers of Fear. There's a lot of games on my list. I would also love to stream, like, Bloodborne as well, because I've never played Bloodborne. I would love to play other individual games that's on PlayStation, maybe Kingdom Hearts or whatever. Who knows, in Final Fantasy 15, because I've yet to beat that too. But those are just a couple of games that are on my radar that I could stream. It's just, I gotta see where I gotta go with it. Like, where, the gaming world takes me, because right now I'm just finishing Nier, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Do you like English dub? I personally think, it just really depends on the series and what you start with first. Like, when it comes to Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, I started off watching Dragon Ball Z with dub. And it was really weird for me to get used to Goku's voice and all them when I started watching Dragon Ball Super, because I was so used to the English dub and Goku and the Funimation dub and stuff. It was just really weird. But I grew accustomed to it over time. And do I still think that, the dub is better in Dragon Ball? I do. I still think it's better. I think what it really comes down to is what you hear first and what you listen to first, and that's kind of what you really will probably be inclined to like more than the other. Thinking of starting college anytime soon. When I save enough money, money's kind of tight, but when I save up enough money and all that, I eventually do want to go to college, learn Japanese, want to learn graphics design and stuff like that. I've said that kind of in my vlogs before, but that's kind of my objective with college. Do you think Togashi will come back in 2017 or 2018? Oh, shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know. How's Nier going? Nier's going quite well. As I said earlier in this video, I beat playthrough 1 and playthrough 2. I'm not going to spoil individual details because there is some of you that want to play the game and not be spoiled, but I beat playthrough 1, playthrough 2, and the third playthrough is an entirely new game. It's like a continuation after the first 2 playthroughs, and I'm really loving the game's structure. I'm loving the story, and it's my first experience with Nier. I know it's like after the original Nier, but you don't need the original Nier to know this Nier, and I really love just the design of the characters, not just because of 2B's ass. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's pretty nice. 2B's booty's like, holy shit. But it's not just because of that. I love the character design. The characters look really beautiful. I love the way the clothing is done. I love the way the actual story is done and the way it's presented to the actual player of the game. And I really love how the game constantly changes the camera angle. I mean, it can be annoying at sometimes, but I love how the camera changes angles, and you can have many different genres in one game. Like, you have a bullet hell type game, and then all of a sudden you have a side-scroller, a platformer, and then you switch over to like an action-packed hack-and-slash type game. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Nier Automata, and I would recommend it to all who have a PlayStation. I mean, I bought a PlayStation just for Nier. I'm not even joking. I bought a PlayStation to play Nier and also do streams of it. That was my whole objective of why I got a PlayStation in the first place. So if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what else can. If Holo thought the Earth was flat, would she still be best girl? Okay, number 1, Holo is a very intelligent character, she's a very well-written female character, and there's just no way, because of her character, the way she's written, she would think the world is fucking flat, just because of how she is. But let's just say on the off chance that she did believe in that, oh fuck no, like no, she would no longer be best girl, because that's just brain dead. Did you finish Akame ga Kill, the manga? If yes, will you at least give an opinion? No need to make a video on it, just curious. Yes, I finished the Akame ga Kill manga, and no, I did not like it, because honestly, it was edgy shit, where the characters I couldn't really care about, because they died so often, that I just couldn't grow close to a character at all. And also, the anime spoiled me, so fuck you, anime. Do you have a dream car? Honestly, no, I really don't. As long as if I could get from point A to point B and it's a very solid car that, you know, will operate properly, I'm honestly satisfied. I mean, I don't want a car that looks like it's been from a junkyard, but, I mean, I don't really necessarily need to have a high-class car that's fucking insane, has everything in it. I'm fine with just having a car that can get me to point A to point B, be good on gas or whatever if I need to go on a trip, and that's about it. That's all I really want. I don't really necessarily have a dream car. Do you have any serious regrets in life so far? And if so, what are some examples of your worst regrets? Damn. That's a personal question. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna, you know, say I haven't. I have regrets. I do. I think everyone in the world has regrets. You cannot go through life without having some form of regrets. Even small or big, everyone, I feel like, in their life does have regrets. And sometimes in your life, you look back on those regrets and wish you could change things. But sometimes you can't really do nothing about it because you can't change things. It's just how life is. Once something is done, something is done. However, there is a lot of regrets I have, and there's a lot of regrets, honestly, I'm not going to share. I'm only going to share one, but a lot of them are very personal. One of these days when I work up the courage or whatever, I will talk about it, but today is not that day. But I will talk about something very personal that happened a few years back, and I just want to be point blank with you. What I'm about to say is, it's not a happy conclusion. It's not a happy story. It's not something that's going to bring a smile. But at the same time, I don't want anyone to, you know, think about it and say, like, oh, I feel bad or whatever. Just, you know, it's me sharing just a little bit of myself with all of you and showing my weakness as a person, but also how, you know, I still hold some of this regret. And I mean, like I've said many times, these videos are for me to kind of connect with all of you. It's allowing me to share myself with all of you, allow you to see who I really am, and allow you guys to understand that I'm not just a content creator. I am a, you know, a human being that has, you know, problems as well, or, you know, regrets or whatever. Now, I'm not saying my regrets are overall are worse than others. I mean, I know there's many out there that have it way worse off than I do, and I'm very lucky and happy with, you know, my life and being able to be a YouTuber and all that. But like I said, even with all that, there is regrets you have in your life. I've told the story a long time ago in vlogs, off and on and stuff, with questions and stuff, like how did I get into anime? You know, I discovered, you know, anime through Dragon Ball and all that, because I got VHSs through a pawn shop, and I was starting to watch it. But at the time, I really wasn't aware that Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z, was an anime until much, much later, about like a year or two later. And the thanks to me finding out about this was through my brother, my older brother, which was like a high school student while I was in elementary. And my brother, he was a very gifted individual. He was someone, honestly, that was just insane. He could do anything that he possibly wanted to do, and he set his mind onto it. For instance, he could construct computers when he was, like, at the age of 16. He could, you know, reboot computers, you know, put in everything in to make a computer once again. And he was even making money on the side building computers for people. I mean, he was even tasked with dealing with some form of security issues when it came to his high school. I mean, he was a very gifted individual. He could look at something once and realize what to do and how to redo something or how to, you know, do this certain project or whatever just by looking at it once. Like I said, he was a very gifted and intelligent individual, and he was a brother that inspired me and made me look up to him like, holy shit, I want to be like him. And because of him, I actually discovered anime and manga. He showed me Naruto one day, and that eventually led to other things. For instance, you know, led me to finding out that Dragon Ball Z was an anime and slash manga. It led me to, you know, One Piece, Bleach, and all that, etc., etc., Spice and Wolf. And then he also was the one that introduced me to a bunch of games as well. So without my brother, I wouldn't be a gamer, and I wouldn't be someone that was into anime or manga. I'd probably be a completely different person right now if it wasn't for the influence of my brother. My brother was the one that introduced Halo to me. He was the one that introduced Diablo to me. He was the one that introduced Warcraft to me. He introduced so many games, PC games, Xbox games, PlayStation games, that it was just absolutely insane when I was a kid, and we used to play all together all the time. And then on top of that, he used to teach me little things about computers and stuff like that when he had the time. But among all this, though, besides me looking up to him, there was some certain things with my brother that were kind of off. Now, like I said, he was a gifted individual, but even the most gifted have some form of problems, and he was diagnosed with chronic depression. And if you're familiar with chronic depression, it means you're always depressed or you can never be truly happy. No matter how good the situation is, you could possibly never be truly happy. And he went to the doctors many times and all that, and the doctors pretty much always gave him the middle fingers, like, there's nothing wrong with you, and so he never really got much treatment at all. And my brother, he also had, you know, he was also bipolar. He could shift between emotions, between being very angry or good. Like, one moment he's very happy and bubbly and all that, he's a good man, and the next moment it looks like he just wants to strangle you. That's kind of how he was, being bipolar. Regardless of all those issues, though, I accepted him for who he was, and I loved my brother for who he was, and I cared for him deeply, because he was a good dude. He was a good brother that taught me a lot, and so I accepted him for everything that was wrong with him. So, throughout the years, regardless of what everybody felt about him or whatever, many people throughout life, I still looked at my brother as a good man, and I still looked up to him as my, like, idol to be something like him in terms of just being that intelligent. And so, a few years passed and all that, more time, and I finally graduated, you know, from school and all that. I, you know, actually started to become a YouTuber. This was a few years back. My brother, he was in a bad state. He made a few bad decisions. I'm going to spare you the details because that's for another day. He made a few bad decisions and all that because of, you know, his chronic depression and, you know, being bipolar, which led him down a path to where he was, you know, kind of angry or always even more depressed than he already was. And I forget exactly what the argument was about, but me and him got in a little bit of a spat, and he actually beat the shit out of me. Now, siblings fighting, that's something common and all that. That's common. I know that's a very common thing. But my brother, he beat the living shit out of me, and he actually, besides just beating me, it's like he wanted to kill me because his bipolar switched, and it went a little bit further than it should. And because of that, once everything was done and all that, I was in a state of disarray. I was like, my brother I've looked up to, I cared about so much, he did something like this to me. I've always, you know, looked up to him regardless of everything. He's never really done that to me. He's never gone that far. And I was just in a state of shock that my brother would, you know, pretty much act like he would want to kill me or something because, you know, his personality swapping. And I was really upset, and I said something I shouldn't have said. I said, I hate you. Just leave and all that. About a week later, About a week later, he committed suicide. And like I said, this isn't a happy story, and it doesn't have a happy conclusion. My final words to my brother was that I hate him. Never said I love you, be safe, whatever. I said, I hate you. Leave, go. And then he died. Obviously, because of everything, I was still in a state of shock. I didn't know how to feel, what to think, because... yeah. But I hold that regret with me to this day. I wish I could have said something else. And I didn't look at my brother at that time because of my human weakness, because of how weak I was as a person, and just angry. I said something I shouldn't have said. And like I said, sometimes I wish I could have said something else, but there's nothing you can do. That's just how life works. That's just how life rolls. I mean, there's not much you really can do about it. I can, regret on it all day long, but no matter what and how I feel, I can't take that back, and I just gotta live with it. That's just something I have to bear with me for the rest of my life. And like I said, I don't want anyone feeling bad for me. I don't want anyone saying I'm sorry for you, Chibi, or whatever. I don't want that shit. I don't want anyone's pity or anything like that. I'm just here to share a story because you asked a question. I'm just saying, though, is that next time you ever have a spat with someone, even if they're bipolar or they have chronic depression, don't say something that you know you'll probably regret in the future. I know it's very hard. And like I said, the reason why I said it was a result of human weakness. But still, if you're ever in a situation, which I pray none of you ever are, if you're ever in a situation that's like that, I really hope that you're able to fight that weakness that all of us humans kind of carry, and being able to go against it, and be able to say something that you will not regret. And, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. So, whew, that was kind of heavy, but maybe one day I'll share other things with you, but, yeah. And so that is it with this Chibit questions. I got very personal in this, and I don't know if I'll keep that or not, because I don't know if I'm ready to share something like that, but that's what these videos are for. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live, and please be safe, everybody, and I love you guys. Chibi out.